According to a new report, Facebook, or should I say Meta, was so afraid of potential backlash from right-leaning partners, they did little to nothing to combat racist hate speech directed at black and minority users on its platform. According to the Washington Post, Facebook researchers advised the tech giant last year on how to fix its algorithms so that the worst of the worst hate speech wouldn't be allowed on the site. But company executives passed on the suggested changes over fears they'd anger their conservative partners. The Post writes, Facebook's leaders balked at the plan, and far from protecting black and other minority users, Facebook executives wound up instituting half measures after the worst of the worst project that left minorities more likely to encounter derogatory and racist language on the site. Not only did Facebook not change their logarithms, they reportedly never disclosed these findings to the independent civil rights auditors Facebook itself hired in 2018 to basically study these precise issues. Joining me now to discuss is one of the reporters on the story at the Washington Post, tech culture reporter Nitasha Tiku. Nitasha, I'm trying to figure out if I am surprised by this or not surprised by this. What surprised you most in the reporting of this story?
Right. I think it's not surprising, right, at this point that Facebook might not listen to its own researchers when they make recommendations. But what's really surprising here is, one, that Facebook asked its own users. They did a survey of 10,000 Facebook users in 2019, and the users themselves said that they did not want to see this hate speech. They were asked, what is the most harmful hate speech? What are the unwanted social interactions on the platform? And the users said it was hate speech directed at Black people, at LGBTQ people, at Muslims, Arabs, and mixed race people. And they also, it's also surprising that they kept this information from auditors. And, these auditors and civil rights activists had also been telling Facebook, they've been having meetings with Facebook executives for years since the start of the Black Lives Matters movement, and with activists complaining that they felt they were getting a disproportionate amount of hate speech on the platform, and they were told time and again that that was just anecdotal. So that's what's surprising. I mean, here you have, it's a bold move, right, not to tell your civil rights auditors about your research that directly pertains to their civil rights concerns.
See, your story comes after the whistleblower already, released all these documents that showed that Facebook knew that their platform was harmful, especially to young girls. I mean, is Facebook new really becoming the rubric here around a lot of very harmful things that this company is basically knowing that it is doing harm in the world? They know it, and they are doing absolutely nothing about it or little about it because of political concerns or profit concerns. How dangerous is that for a company as large as Facebook?
I mean, I don't think it gets more dangerous, right? When you consider, here the report that we found is particularly about the US market, and the researchers were hoping to persuade Facebook to make these changes to reduce hate speech and going into the 2020 election. And now we've seen, these same issues are happening across the globe, except that they don't have language experts in every country where they operate. But again, I would say that the fact that they did extensive research looking at the harms, based on the targets of hate speech. One thing that not everybody realizes is that Facebook's hate speech algorithms, they don't actually take into account this company started, they don't look at the target of the hate speech, and they consider that more of a neutral way to police the content on their platforms. But I think anyone familiar with structural racism or history would really question how that race-blind approach is going to get you results that are fair.
Well, let's talk a little bit about those logarithms, because in your story, you say that, the logarithm did catch language that denigrated white people more often than in black people. How does that work if the subject is, if the logarithms are kind of blind to the subject?
Right. So the way that I mean, one big reason why that they disproportionately found hate speech against white people and men is because they weren't allowed to take into account slurs, thinking that in some cases using, say, the N word, it could be used colloquial group or in ways that are not designed to be detrimental or harmful to the person writing it or to any targeted at any particular group. But granted, it's a complicated subject, but when you train your algorithms to ignore slurs, these machine learning tools, when they're trained on certain data, they get better at certain things, right? So the fact that it wasn't trained on data, it wasn't looking at the target of who this hate speech is directed toward, and whether what their position is in society, the existing power dynamics in society. It's going to learn just on the basis of, are you attacking a protected characteristic? So anybody that says something about
Right.
gender, which could be about men, or race, which could be about white people, if you treat that all equally, I think it ended up finding some of the biases inside Facebook.
Natasha, how should regulators, Congress, look at this, use this to, should they regulate Facebook more? Facebook appears to be begging for regulation. Now they have commercials where they're saying we shouldn't be trying to do all this ourselves. We should have regulations. And there's a Burr Rabbit quality is to me. Like there's something, I'm suspicious about them begging for so much regulation. So what do you think should happen now that we know Facebook knows that it's being harmful in not only one way, but now more than one? How should Congress respond to this?
Well, I think, I steer clear of making recommendations of what should be done, but I think we can tell very clearly that the limits of what they have done, right? So we know that even an independent audit by a third party investigator,
Hmm.
if they are not given full access to actually look into all of the research that Facebook has done, that audit is going to,
Right,
it's not going to do anything conclusive.
right. Nitasha Tiku, thank you so much for joining us tonight and explaining this to us. Great reporting.